What's buck, everybody? I am President Krump. You are the Krump Nation. This is Krump Inc. I got my bro here, very special guest. This is the homie. This is the bro, Ruin the Legion Killer, aka Terroreyex, and he's the Secretary of Defense, also in the Krump Nation. So don't play around with that, because we don't play around when it comes to defense.
Who created Krump? So many things to tell you. How much time you got?
All right, so bro, let them know where you from, just in case people don't know who you are.
Yeah, so pretty much, man, it's your boy Ro. I'm from the Inland Empire. As far as Krump, I'm originally from Los Angeles, grew up until I was about 11, 12 years old. Then I moved to the IE. That's when I started my Krump.
So he West Coast journey.
West Coast for real. So yeah, from the Inland Empire, Rialto to be specific. Wu-Tang Krump. In case you don't know what that is, that's a group. Yeah, from the IE.
That's your origins. That
yeah,
Wu-Tang.
that's that beginnings.
Dang.
That's that beginnings with all the homies. But yeah, man, that's it. I started Krump, started dancing in about summertime 2003, and been going on since. So,
dang, 2003? Yikes.
Long time.
You been in here?
Yeah, years. It took me a long time to get somewhere, but I got somewhere.
So I'm gonna just like go straight, because I know people seen me and Run beef battling. Y'all want to know what it was about. I always thought it's because you were the one that was about the action. You were always ready to go anyway. That's just been a part of your MO from day one. Like if it's a battle, I'm ready. It don't matter who's on the other side. It don't matter who you are. You always been like that.
Yeah, that attitude came from the Wu-Tang group. I started Krump dancing in the summertime of 2003 with two of the homies. One of them was named Jonathan Starr, and the other one named was Kieran Hodges. They were both under somebody who was under you at this time, which was Soldier. Back in the day,
okay.
Soldier had his fam, but remember when there used to be branch offs as like if they were soldiers, they were Soldier Eyes.
Yeah.
So the person that the homies were under, his name was P-Town.
I remember P-Town.
Big P-Town. And he was Kid Soldier Eyes. He was Kid Soldier Eyes.
Okay.
And they were Junior and Little P-Town.
Okay.
And they're the ones who started me at Krump.
Dang.
So like they were clown dancers and they converted on over, and then I used to watch them for like a whole year straight, just watching. I used to draw and do gymnastics and flip and stuff. That was my thing.
Wait, you used to flip?
I used to flip, bro. On monkey bars, everywhere. That's why.
Man.
That's why I didn't know. Look, that explains my balance and everything.
Okay, now I used to be like, yo, this dude's a freak of nature. How is he moving like that?
Yeah, so I used to do gymnastics and things like that. So that was like, that's where I lived at.
Wow.
And
you learned something new.
Yeah, and then one day they was like, hey, we're gonna battle some girls after school. And they said, we need
Y'all
one more guy. He was like, we need one more guy.
Ruthless.
Bro, they was like, we need one more guy. And I'm like, y'all know I don't dance. And they're like, just try it. If you don't like it, don't do it no more. And tried it that day, got killed off real bad.
You got killed off?
Bad. My first time trying to Krump dance was against a girl. Her name was Latoya. She was hard too.
Wow.
She killed me off, and then I just never stopped dancing. Then
dang.
That's why I'm so competitive all the time. My first step into dancing was a battle, and then I lost. So it's like,
you're like, never again.
It's either quit and never try, or go ahead and try to kill everything.
Dang, that's crazy. That's crazy. You don't know where people come from, man. I'm learning something new, and this is fam, but you're always learning about each other.
Yeah.
You know, I'm saying craziness. Who created Krump? I'm saying I only created Krump. I'm putting things in order. Some people don't like it. It's like people can't provide the proof, but you were actually on the opposite side for a while. This is cool. This is how we got to know you. You came in through the skate park sessions. I remember you coming to the skate park sessions, like first time seeing you, like, oh, this dude, he's crazy.
Yeah, that was kind of before I got connected with the other side as far as crushing solo and impact and everything. Me and you, we were clashing before I was a part of impact and part of that stuff due to me wanting to be on the NYs.
Yeah.
And we went through a whole process of like battling people at the skate park and
you
talking to Knucklehead and all these people back and forth. And then about 9 to 10 months of just showing up on Tuesdays, this and that.
This dude is crazy. He crazy. I'm gonna tell you why. He wanted to be an NY. We packed him out. He had a vendetta. He was hunting us down. But I was like, yo, you can't deny somebody like that. And I got respect for you. because you're a worthy opponent. Because you really about that. You like, I'm gonna kill everyone.
I tried my best, bro. My first battle back, like after the pack out thing happened, and then I didn't get to respond because that night I didn't have any more time at that venue.
I'm pissed you
And
off.
that's so bad, bro. And then after that, you started giving away names. I'm like, damn, there goes who was it? Jonathan got the Boy and Y, and then Concrete got Young and Y or Baby or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was Baby.
And then those are the only two left. And so I hit Knucklehead ASAP. I'm like, hey, nigga, like, what's going on? I've been trying to get one of these names for 10 months.
Dang.
And now both of these names gone. He's like, I don't know, you gonna talk to Chess. And then look, I only had nigga, all I had was like an email of yours. And we talked back and forth through email like twice.
Wow.
And then this is a super long time ago. And then Twitter came out and we was on Twitter. That's when we started.
I was on Twitter?
We was on Twitter, bro. I had Twitter for I probably put me like 3 months maybe.
Wow.
And so I was off of it after that. But we were arguing back and forth on Twitter.
Always arguing.
We were arguing back and forth on Twitter in 2009. Like, it was crazy. So it's a long history of clashing. And even before I was a part of the Impact and that whole era of clashing with Tighteyex and his group of people and stuff like
SK
that.
and Impact.
Yeah, so that was it. That lasted like almost 5 years.
Sheesh, we was like
It
that
was
long.
for like at least 4 or 5 years almost. But we didn't get everything didn't smoothen out until 2015.
Wow.
And I battled Knuckle in 2010.
Right.
So, yeah.
That was a crazy monumental moment. Like you changed the look of battling with one move.
I literally, bro, it's crazy. But just yesterday, Knucklehead called me. So randomly, he called me yesterday. I was like, hey, man. He's like, the more we get away from like that time frame of the battle and stuff we had, he's like, the more crazier it starts to look. He was like, that move you did, bro, was like really was top crazy. 10. He was like, it was like top 10
battle moves,
best battle moves of all time.
Yeah.
He was like, that's sitting next to, Chaz.
The shoe kill off.
The shoe kill off. He was like, we named like one of Randall's things at one of them rounds or something like that. It was just different
thing with the umbrella.
Different things like that. He was like, there's like specific moves in Krump that just like
epic.
It's just like
that was when
stamped.
We really start to like, this dude's a problem.
And it's crazy. It's crazy because I wasn't as sound in my foundation at that time frame. I was like, the reason I survived with everyone because I knew how to do the big stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't care to like focus in on the little stuff.
Yeah.
That really mattered, but I knew the big stuff. So all I need to do is land those big things.
Yeah.
That's.
But when it happened, I mean, this is my crew. Like Knucklehead's my little homie. I was just like, damn. basically, like you gotta know when you hit. Like, that was crazy,
bro. Looking at the video later down the line and watching everybody's response, facial expressions,
we all got scared.
It was wild.
It scared everybody. Like, what if that would have happened to me? What would I do? So we was feeling sorry for Knucklehead. Like, you gotta respond, dude. Who knew he was gonna choke you like that? It just came out of nowhere. I remember the room, like, oh shoot.
Yeah, and I literally told him yesterday, I was like, that the crazy part about that is like how I used to make up moves, like that's what I was doing. And so that that move, I made it up in 2008 at school. I was graduating from high school in 2008, but we used to dance after school at the bungalows or whatever.
Wow.
And I made that move up. Like I had that move sitting for 2 years, but never really knew the impact of it. I just decided to do it that night. Yeah, I just ended up doing it that night, and it was right time, right place, right time.
Right place, right time.
But I had that move sitting for 2 years because I was battling and doing things, but I wasn't like, what do you call it? I wasn't so picky and choosy on what I was doing. Sometimes I was like, you know what, let me just make up something and let it be and just dance. And that's what I was doing. But that night I was like, I have to do something. And I thought back, all right, there's that move.
You had that fire. That's one thing about you. And I believe that because you were a heavy hitter, you were so willing to battle. It seemed like people pushed you to the front because they knew you could take it.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I recognized that later. Mm-hmm. Like I was such a battlehead to where I just didn't care who I was battling. I was just wanting to dance and just go and get niggas, whatever. And I'll be battling niggas for sure. And that came from Wu-Tang. We battled each other. We used to have you would have thought we was like real live enemy hoods. Us and D Kings.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang and D Kings. It was like this. Like that's why like when you see me and Creed and Rec and all us together now, we so close and cool because
of that.
we know what it's like to really clash with each other and like it be real.
Dang.
Like, so like we've had those times, and then just over time losing people on both sides as far as like real life and stuff like that. It brought us down, but then it brought us together too. So like, those are my niggas. So like, it's different how things change over time.
I want to go back to, because you actually spent some time around Prissy and C.
Yes, definitely.
Like I think you were in a show.
Yeah, I did the underground show.
Prissy
and C and Mio. Prissy, C, Mio.
It was Prissy and Mio.
Yeah, all three of them.
Now, I ain't never spoke to anybody about this, but how was it portrayed to you? How was Krump portrayed? Did you learn anything from that experience, or how was that experience for you?
From that experience, it was a good one, but it was also an eye opener to certain things. So like the good parts of it was learning how to present myself in a show form, like from how, being on stage a lot more in front of a lot of different people and things like that. That show opened up my mind a little bit on like, okay, I can get more into performance Krump versus being such a battlehead. I don't gotta go out here and try to kill the crowd off. I just gotta, get them to relate to me and present things a different way. So I learned a lot in that, and that was due to Prissy. She coached us. And me and Outrage were in that too. She pointed us in a certain direction with this. All right, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm thinking. You're this person. You're that person, and see what you can portray with this. And we did so. And I think it was a good experience in that way. I won't say this next part was negative, but it was an eye-opening experience. This is where I started to experience how much people have a dislike for me.
Okay.
And it was like, so at this time frame, me and you aren't like beefing crazy, but I am, over there with Impact and stuff like that. And whenever our groups did meet up, they meet up, but it wasn't a consistent thing of like us just every week battling and this and that. That wasn't the only thing going on in Krump. Yeah. But with that going on, Prissy stayed in my ear, like 24/7 with it. And it sucked because it was like, she started to stay in my ear with this, like, oh yeah, Ron, I think you could be the one. You could want to beat Tighteyex, this and that. I'm like, I'm listening to it, but I'm not focused on it. Yeah. And it just kind of like over time of hearing it, every time we break into sessions and doing this and doing that, and I'm, getting off doing my thing, that's all I'm hearing majority of the time. And if it wasn't from her, like it was from somebody else that was there, or everybody else just hyping it up just because. I will say that Little C, I can't even remember a time where he was the one that was coming to me like, yeah, you the one who gonna, beat Tighteyex, this and that. He always kind of just laid low on that. He never really, and this is during that time frame, he wasn't speaking the same way on it as Prissy was. She's like, I've always known her to have that energy towards you, and it's just what it was. And it made me curious, like, why the hell is this, like, why every time? Like this? Why every time I'm dancing or every time something, she brings him up and then about somebody beating him or somebody needing to beat him. I'm like, it's not like, and at that point, it's like, it's not gonna change anything. Yeah. And if somebody did win, it's like, it's not gonna change anything. It's who he is in the dance. But at that time frame, that's all I'm hearing. And it's not just from Prissy either. It's like other OGs and other people and stuff like that. Cause like at that time, the same way people look at Rex right now, as far as no people's champ. He's no more.
Because you just got rid of him. I just want to let y'all know. No, we got to stop this. They just battle. Rex is deleted. We got to recreate him. He got to come back new. He just got deleted. People are like, hey, you shouldn't say that. Bro, it's done. He has to be he's cremated. He has to be reborn. So when Rex get reborn, it will bring him back out. But he just cremated him. I just had to let people know, man. It's true.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And you weren't out here like, you were like, man, I should do better. I should have did better. Like you were telling me.
Yeah, I was telling you, it was like, I feel like I could have did crazier, but just I'm not in the space fully, mentally and physically that I want to be in, but I know what I can still deliver. And so it's like, I could have been even crazier without, the things that I presented in this battle.
That's crazy, and that's growth to hear about. Like from my eyes, I'm like, this guy's done. But then you're like, man, I could have done that better. And I respect that too, because I'm like, at least we don't believe our own hype. Like, there's always something we can look at.
Yeah, to improve on and like grow and stuff like that. So
okay, back to Prissy. I really don't like talking about Prissy because I'm gonna have to hear clucking in my ear like a chicken again.
Yeah, it's funny.
But
you know it's funny.
Yeah, it's gonna happen anyway. But you were a part of this show. Lil C really wasn't on that. How was Miho during this?
Same. Miho wasn't. He was just no different from me and Outrage and Worm and all of us. He was just another part of the show. Mm-hmm. He never sat back and came to me like, "Yeah, you gonna do this and this and that." He was just a part of the show. He didn't have any like major role that like, you know, pinned me and him together to where we had to do a lot and talk a lot and do a lot of stuff. We just all around each other a lot. Yeah.
This is what I heard about the show. I heard that you were playing my character. I
was you. Outrage was Lil C. I think Worm was Miho. Wow. And that was it was called one of the parts was called the Three Kings or something like that. And then that was another thing. So that act out of the show was to show how you somehow was trying to like
mess it up,
like be the front of everything and push them away and some stuff. And that was another thing. I was like, why is this the message? Because like
really,
yeah, that was the message. Like, and it was kind of awkward, but you know, I'm just doing a show, so I'm just going along with it. But it was just like, it was always a questionable thing. Like, why is this the message? Because I've been around and I haven't seen this. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen like the real Tighteyex, you know, try to push these people out of the movement or anything. But way back then, all we hear is, you know, you big up at Miho and keeping his name alive. You and Lil C had y'all clashing, but that was understandable because of everything that was already explained. Yeah. So it was just Prissy's version of things. That's what it was.
And Lil C did tell me in passing, like, I think Rowan gonna be the one to get you. Whatever. It's just like coming from Lil C, I'm like, I don't trust what you're saying because you ain't out here active. But it was a thing. Prissy would try to find people to come like knock me down out of position. So it was a thing. This is like battle culture, battle etiquette. If this guy is winning, you're gonna try to find candidates, not this.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
You know, I don't have no problem with that. But it was. I think it was good for you to learn how to, like, you've been on both sides, not as far as opinions, but you've been active on both sides. Mm-hmm. So you're not coming from a bias. You're not biased.
Yeah, and literally, I even tell my girl all the time, like, it's crazy because, like, throughout my journey of Krump, I've had crossing paths with every, like, OG or veteran that matters. Mm-hmm. So, like, I've had my time with Prissy. I've had my time with Lil C. I've had my time with Miho. I've had my time with you. Only person I never had time with was Slayer. And that was just because of by the time I did have a situation where we could cross paths, I had heard certain things that just didn't sit right with me. So I'm not even going to involve myself with this person like that. Yeah, so I got you. I just kept my distance and, you know, high and by type stuff, but never like get to really sit down and learn this person just based off of those things. Once found out, just everything I found out. Yeah. So other than that, I've had my time with each of y'all. So I don't have a point in time where I'm like, I'm leaning more towards one than the other. Like, I've always kept everything strictly Krump. And that's why I feel like the positions I landed in Krump and things that I've got to do, the people I've been able to be around, I've been able to exist without being under influence or in control of it, like under the control of others. Because I know what it's like from this point, in this point, in that point, in this point of view. And it's like, even now, like, we're all fam, everything's good, but there's no like, I don't feel like I got, you know, control on my back. Like, let me do this because I'm over here. It's like, no, it's not that type of vibe. It's like, I can exist and understand. And that's just how everything's been working.
That's cool because most people think that, oh, Tighteyex gets a little homie, you get brainwashed, and then you're like a little puppet and you don't have your own creativity. It's weird.
Let me say this. Now, and this is just a real life point of view here. This is Tighteyex. This is one of the best dancers in the world, has been that for a long time. A lot of people grew up watching this man. Now, from a young age, we all develop our favorites and people that we want to see and meet and, you know, become part of and things like that. Now, think of your little homies that you've had over the time that were young. And they were probably at the max 6 years younger than you, 4 years, 3 years younger, but they still consider themselves little homies. Now, going into a situation where I'm finna come from the East Coast and move over here, or I'm coming from Sacramento and move over here to be a part of one of the greatest dancers in the world, and he's on TV, he's in movies, he's filming Step Up, he's doing this. Like, I'm gonna look up to you and kind of like idolize that in a way. And that can become a blinding thing. True. It's like people could look at you and say like, wow, that's Tighteyex. And they don't see no wrong, or they don't see anything, you know, that just puts them in a space where it's like, now let me slow down, take my time and learn this person or whatever. And I feel like a lot of people put you on this pedestal too early, or just at a time where they didn't have much. And so you were their only lifeline. They got to grow with you, but forgetting that y'all are only a couple years apart in age.
15, 17,
like
18.
he's still learning how to become a man at 25, 26, when 22, 23. Like he's still learning. But you're expecting a dude that's 2 and 3 and 4 years older than you to have like keep you in line and keep you like you're both still growing men or growing a man and woman or whatever the case. I think people really got lost in that. I think they got lost in the fact of like they were looking at you as a father when you're barely 3 years older than you.
It's
and
crazy.
it's like as we got older, it started to look crazier.
It's
and
crazy.
so it's like, damn, like these people really need to take accountability for the fact that they put you in a position that they shouldn't have at that time and frame in life. Like they were, you know, they were hit with the glamour of everything and not really realizing like, you know, he's still got a life of his own he has to figure out as well. And it's not up to him to figure out everything for me. And everything that he has or that's coming to him, if I'm not gonna be able to piggyback off of this forever. And a lot of people didn't do that. So when they got these names from you and when they, you know, got these different positions and, you know, seeing what came with it and all that, and once it's not there anymore, now they're just mad. But in the whole time, they should have been focused on themselves because that's how they got there in the first place. People forget that. And that's what leads me to all this is that when it comes to myself, and I always say this as far as me and Outrage and myself, those are the two people that I know that no matter what little homie name we had or who family was a part of, we were always representing our first names. We were always pushing ourselves. Everybody knew Ruin, AKA whatever. They know Ruin, AKA this, or Outrage, AKA this. And it shows today, if I wasn't to be terrorized right now, if I was no longer in the fam, people would still know Ruin's name. Not because of the work that I put in under somebody else, but the work that I put in on the name that I had. And a lot of people didn't do that. They didn't get popular until they got a name under Tighteyex. And there's a difference there. With me, I don't come into this fam under Tighteyex with the notion of I need to hold this name because this is what's gonna keep me alive in Krump, and this is what's gonna, you know, get the people to listen to me and get the people to like me and this and that. It's like, no, I don't need that. I've established myself enough to be a part of the fam and exist as Ruin and Terrorize and everything be okay. But even if I didn't have the Terrorize, I'll still be fine. A lot of people can't do that, and they're starting to feel those things now. Now that those names have been stripped or they're not there, you look like you didn't put enough work in with what you had before, what got you there in the first place. Some people were dope dancers, really tight dancers, but they didn't put the work in as hard on their own name as they did for something else. And you never know what situations will come about. And look at us now. Who would think that I'm sitting here with
that's
and this and that after beefing with him for years and this and that? Like, you know, things happen. People gotta learn how to actually put in on their actual names and their, you know, their journeys and stuff like that without trying to suck somebody else's like energy dry and get off the popularity and all the other stuff from that. And then you wouldn't feel so, you know, you wouldn't feel the way you do now.
I'm glad you said that, because we was just at an event and Prissy said a few things to me. And one of the things that she said is, I find talented people and I suck them dry out of their talent, but they're coming to me.
Yeah.
Everybody that became something that was nothing, because all of my little homies really, a lot of them came from absolutely nothing, trash, whack, trash. Then they became this.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't understand how that would be if somebody's coming to you and then they get this thing. Like, I didn't go live with anybody. I never was under anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I never split names, shared names. So when stuff like that is said to me, I'm like, do people really believe that? Do people really believe that you're going to come over here and then get all of the talent just drawn out of you and you're not going to get anything in return?
Nah, I think some stuff is just said just to be said, because it literally doesn't make sense, because every person that has come your way and actually took it serious has become something important in Krump. Period. That's just the bottom line. They've become something important. Is that they actually, you've seen the growth firsthand. You watch them develop and get better, and you know, I think it's just Prissy's personal issues with you is what keeps her going.
Okay.
That's all. Because it's like, at this age now, and then when I was in the underground, I was like 22 years old.
Wow.
30, about to be 35 this year. So, like, the difference, like, in seeing it after all this time, and she's still on that, it's like, I look at it different now.
Yeah.
Like, back then, it was like, oh, must be something going on, but, you know, I ain't that deep in that relationship.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Now, then we hit, 28, and I hear it again. And then I'm 32, and I hear it again. About to be 35, and now I'm like, yeah, she's still going. It's like, it's just her personal problem. Yeah. She just looks for whatever she can to say against you. And it sucks, because I used to have a good relationship with Prissy. Like, used to be solid. Like, when I see her now, I'll, say hi and leave it there. At a good amount of time, though, I did, like, separate myself just due to some personal stuff that she had done and said and this and that. And I'm just like, no, and I'm going to just wash my hands with her. But I forgave and kept pushing. And when I see her, I say hi and bye, even till now. Even at the event, told her hi, gave her a hug, and kept it going.
I can't tell her hi.
Even though, as we walking in, I'm hearing all niggas' names. I'm like, bro, why are you acting like this? But it's like, some people are just gonna be who they are, and you can't really change them, especially after all this time. If they ain't changed after all this time, there's not really much you could do about it. You just gotta let them be them, and you be you, and that's just how you gotta move. So, that's just what I get from Prissy. She's the same person that she's been for a while now, which sucks because it's not in a progressive way. I've seen her go up and be at a space where things could change for her whole life, and I've seen her hit, a ceiling or hit a brick wall and come right back down, and then she's doing the same thing again.
Now, when I say I am the only creator of Krump, this is not like a claim, because I can't speak for the first 5 years that Krump came out, before Rize. And this is, I believe, they're holding on to this time, and Rize made people who weren't anything to be something. So I still feel like people are harping on this. Like, this is 20 years ago. We can't even survive off of Rize anymore. It doesn't even matter. Who cares at this point? But I'm saying it because of the work. You may have seen Little C or everybody put in work. Would you say that they have put in enough work from what you've seen since you've been in here to be like, yeah, I'm a creator?
No, I look at it differently. Creating something and then being a person that helps innovate or, change things up a bit, or elevate the style in some way, it's totally different.
Mhm.
Like you can, it just shows. It's just honestly, it just shows in the dance itself, like who created and who elevated what, who changed these little things here and there. When how you even speak about Krump and show and can break down the details of every little thing. Like I was just telling somebody the other day, I was at work, and then they were asking like, "What's the basics of Krump?" And I'm like, they know nothing about it. I'm just asking them because I'm watching Krump videos all the time at work on the stream. So they ask like, "What's the basics?" And I'm like, you know, I can explain to you like what this is and this and that. And then I was like, I mentioned you. I was like, well, when Tighteyex explains it though, like it's a science, and the only way that it's going to be respected, that you can say that you created something, is you're going to know it down to a science. Like I've been around Prissy, I've been around C, I've been around Miho, and none of them have ever even explained things down to a science like that. Miho has a deep explanations about things. He has a deep explanations, but it falls in place with what you said about him being, you know, the first person you shared it with. It's like that makes sense. But as far as the creation of like this format of what Krump is, of stomping, chest popping, jab, bar swing, and then being able to break down the wrist into this directional things and this and that. We don't think like that. We just think boom, 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 and that's all we got. But you can tell us like this creates this and moves this here. This is like, it's just a simple explanation like that shows the difference in creation versus helping innovate. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think people just want that credit. And the movie Rize, it opened the world up to Krump. And even though that wasn't the first, you know, thing that came out about Krump, it did hit the whole world in different places that never seen the dance at all. So it's easy to claim. It's so easy to claim. Like definitely with them being on the cover of it and things like that. Like, and I never seen nothing wrong with it. I still love the cover. It looks dope. It's dope as hell. It's book. But you know, even when that came out, I was dancing 2 years prior. Got 2005, so I started Krump dancing 2 years prior. And from the beginning, all I heard was Tighteyex and Miho. Tighteyex and Miho. They're the creators. They're the creators. But it makes sense now when you explain your situation and your story and like the bro code. Like I was giving the bro, you know, a piece of the pie. Like, that's just what
as
it
always.
was.
That's like
in
culture.
That's just what it is. I've done the same for the homies. I tell people all the time, it's like, imagine your homie put you on a call or put you on a resume, and you're like, you doing it. He doing the same thing.
You get the call like, oh
yeah,
you work here.
Like, yeah, this the homie. I've been friends with him for 12 years. Like, I worked with him and this and that. And like, that's just what it was. He was putting the homie on. And that's just how I look at that. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially from the culture that we grew up in and live in. Like, we always gonna have our bros back in any way we can. So to, you know, tell that lie for the homie to be respected and make sure that he getting something out of this too, because he been with me since I first created it, why not? Like that's the sense that it makes. I'm gonna jump over into like Miho. When it comes to Miho, and actually once I started to spend time with Miho and actually, you know, hear him speak about Krump and his point of view and learn how he creates and things like that, again, I seen the difference in how you speak about it versus how he speaks about it, how he teaches versus how you teach, and what you teach and what you focus on and what he focuses on. And even then, I could tell, like, okay, he knows a lot, but I still don't get a creation vibe from it. I don't get the details that I'm really needing to like understand the foundation of everything. And I've lied with Miho over the years, maybe like 3-4 times out of knowing. That's a little bit. And I've known it for a long time. That's what I'm saying. So but those times were like some one-on-one. So it's like I remember these times, and it's different. And it's like, not to say his knowledge wasn't good or it wasn't things that I learned from it, but you can just tell the difference in a person that's like, all right, so I'm showing you what I learned versus showing you what I created. And that's what I've gotten from Miho as well. And Little C, we never laughed. Like I've danced or were with him at different times, but never labbed together. So, and then, but that shows though in his Krump at a lot of times. It's like,
he ain't
bro,
laughing. The bro ain't laughing.
Yeah, he's all feeling, bro. He's definitely all feeling,
which is cool.
Yeah, that's
it's
not
just not elite.
It's just like, yeah, I think my point of view on Krump is like, if you're in it for the competition, you have to laugh.
Yeah.
If you're in it and you're gonna talk crazy, you gotta laugh. Because you know somebody's gonna come at you for a battle. There's nothing else to do but be prepared. But if you're not in Krump for the competition, then dance your heart away. Like your feelings, everything you want to let out, I don't care if it looks ugly or whatever, that's just your Krump. But we can't judge you off of that. But if you're in it to compete, you gotta compete with actual details and skills and, you know, precision and a lot of different things. So
and the battle game is different. I want to get into some like fam stuff because me and you have actually been fam for a long time. We have actually been fam for. It's not a new thing. It's not new.
Yeah, people act like because I have this this only a eyes name now that I'm just like this brand new Tighteyex deep rider. And I'm like, y'all niggas are crazy, bro. But this also was sad. This is what kind of made it suck for my point of view on how people view Miho. Like, nobody really respected Miho like that. And it sucks because you vouched for him all these years, but people never really respected him. And the Bullseye's fam, like that fan being created really exploited that in Krump. When I became a Bullseye, yes, in the beginning it was a bunch of congratulations, this is dope, da 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 da. That's the normal thing. But as time went on and, you know, things didn't go people's way or people started feeling a way about you or whatever, people would single out the fact that I'm under you only. Yeah. Like they would attack the fam, but only attack your side. Like it's real. I'm like, bro. He's like, yeah, y'all niggas under Chaz. Even niggas that are under.
It's a joint fam.
even niggas that were under Miho would still point that out like that. Point it out in that way. It's like, bro, do y'all not see your big homie as the other half of this? Yeah. But I understood quickly that didn't matter to none of them at all. Like it didn't matter to most people. Like even on the eye side of things, when the Bullseyes was created, the idea I had was like, okay, I'm in the middle of Tighteyex and Miho. That means like I'm gonna be fine with these niggas, I'm cool with these niggas over here, and it's just all right. And you know, I communicate with a few people here, but it didn't go far. When it came to the Miho side of things, they were even more distant. Like people like Crush, people like Solo. Solo, he never gave off any bad energy or any like said anything wild. But it took a while for him to get that Miho boy handshake out of Solo. Like it took a while.
Can I get the handshake?
Yeah, it took a while. Like, I'm like, but we got to it and stuff like that. But you could tell the distance, and it was only because of you. And it's weird. It was weird. It was like, why can't y'all niggas, even if you don't accept me for this part, like understand I'm still a part of this.
Yeah,
thing.
you're a part of this.
Yeah, I still tried to always keep it a straight line to where people were like, they respected Miho just as much as they respected you when it came to me. Because it's like, I'm not just under Tighteyex. So don't come to me when you're mad at just Tighteyex. It's like, understand I'm a part of both fams and both people, and I'm representing both of them. So if you got a problem with this nigga, then you got a problem with me. If you got a problem with him, you got a problem with me. And I'm going to treat it the same way. I even told when this first came about, when the Bullseyes first came a thing, I told you and I told him, I was like, hey, if this don't go right, I'm not going to be under either of y'all. And that obviously that's changed due to the circumstances of things.
You were trying to keep it. Like,
I was trying to keep it like, bro, like y'all. And I used to be at work, bro. When I was airplane mechanic, I'm at work calling both of y'all two-way or whatever it is. Both of y'all on the phone. I'm like, y'all niggas gotta get it together, bro, because y'all bumping heads behind the scenes. People they think it's new. Like these niggas been bumping heads way back, and I was a Bullseye for 8 years in total. A Bullseye for 8 years in total. The first 2.5 to 3 years was by myself before we got Native and then Cannon and then Quanga and Ruck Boy. Like before anybody else came, I was doing it by myself still. And so Yeah, it was like they were bumping heads at that time. That's why it took a long time to get people added, because we weren't agreeing on people and different stuff like that. And so it was a lot going on. But like, again, I represented both sides, and people always just because it was Tighteyex, like they would always point that way. Anything go wrong? Well, you want the Tighteyex. I'm like, dog, what's the point of being the bullseye if and the bull is the bull is the beginning of the name. Yeah. You're just jumping over like, well, anything go wrong? Well, you niggas is under Tighteyex and you under Tighteyex. Like, damn, bro. I don't even. And at this point, like, I was around Miho a little bit more at that time than I was around you. Even that was more confusing too. It's like, y'all see me sessioning around with this nigga more. Yeah. I don't even got footage with Tighteyex yet because he's doing this thing and busy and whatever. And they still would, you want the Tighteyex though. So
we just now started really linking up.
Yeah, that's the truth. It's
even though you were faithful. You were faithful, and you have, I can say this because I watch you, because you were under Crush.
Yeah.
Every time you moved to another place, it was a clean cut. Nothing shady, no gossip, just clean cut. I'm doing this, and you let people know.
Yeah, facts, and that's what I made sure. Like, it amazes me how everything happens or whatever. Because when I moved from being Junior Flesh Killer to end up being a Bullseye, there was a time span of just me being me. Meal came to me asking me about being in the family. And I was like, about being a Bullseye. Mm-hmm. And this is before you guys established that it was going to be a fam or like a group of just collective, business type things. Yeah. And he was like, if we make it a fam, I'm considering you and Dread. And I'm like, all right. And then he's like, well, but you can't be under Crush too. I'm like, all right, well, let me talk to this nigga, because I know Crush.
So Miho put that out there.
Miho
that wasn't me. That wasn't Ches.
I didn't talk to this nigga for I didn't talk to Ches for about Miho approached me about 3 different times before I even talked to Ches about it at all.
Wow.
So Miho was the one who did the recruiting. And at that time, I was still under Crush. Crush's big homie came around him to me, asking me to be a part of something that he and Tighteyex were thinking about creating. I go about it the right way by going to Crush, talking, telling them like, hey, this is a possibility. And I told him it's a possibility. It's not even for sure, but I think it's a dope thing, and I think I'm going to go for it. He was like, well, if you think that's what you want to do, then go for it. Mm-hmm. And so I split ways with the J Flesh Killer name, was myself for about almost a year or so, or there's been some time. And then around January of 2015, that's when I actually got the name. And yeah, and it was that from there. But then that's when, like, the cold shoulders started to show a little bit more with different people and stuff like that. And then because Tighteyex was now a part of the mix, like as far as with Ruin, then like I started to really get it. Like, oh, you under this nigga now? I heard it from Prissy and heard it from all of them. Like,
what's the
you
problem?
Tighteyex? Like, no, I'm under Miho too. And they were friends at this time. Prissy and Miho was cool. So it was weird. I was like, how are you just overlooking Miho and just only looking at the fact that I'm a part of this guy? It's like, y'all just have a problem with him. Yeah. And that's just it. So I got really thick skin with that situation, because it's like, it just comes with it.
With the whole Bullseye thing, I was trying to work together with Miho. I don't like wasting time. I don't like people wasting time. And that's something I had to apologize to you about. Like, I never really even got the chance to really link with you to see what we can do. Yeah. Which is what made me go, you know what? You have been loyal. Let's just go this way. If don't nobody really want to rock with you, we probably can't do it with this guy, but we can create something together. Yeah,
and there was no pressure. It wasn't a like, well, since there's no more Bullseye, just come be our eyes now, come do this now. It's like, nah, like we sat down, me and him, Cannon at the table, like, yo, like, this we don't have an issue, with you. We don't have none of the problems or none of that. We just ain't been around each other in a long time, just due to your absence of going to do your thing with the groups and the other stuff that you were doing. And we just as adults understood it. It's like, it's not like, there's not one thing you did wrong. You just left the community to go better yourself and do things that you needed to do to get yourself in a better place in life. And that's all I seen. I didn't see, oh, this nigga left the Krump world to go do this. And he, like, I didn't see any weird nothing. It was just, he just ain't around. You see him doing well, and a lot of people just hated to see you doing well. And that showed. yeah, so when we had our conversation, and I even told you at the table, it's like that conversation that we had is what made me break that decision that I had of not being under either or. Is I had the same conversation with Tighteyex that I did with Miho, and I got two different responses. And it just showed the respect level that we had for each other. It showed the honesty, and it showed just like the possible brotherhood that could be built based off of, you know, this time frame that we're in now. And the question that the situation that was brought up was about the fam. I told Miho when I had a conversation with them, I was like, bro, you and Tighteyex, y'all never did anything to help build the Bullseyes at all. Like, we had the name, y'all had a couple battles together overseas and stuff like that, but we never sat down and created anything that was going to actually live on and continue to grow, like just how you guys, you know, put time into making the Miho style, or you put time into making the eyes or NY or a style rip. There was never a time where we sat down and said, all right, this is what the Bullseyes are going to look like. This is what we're going to do. We're going to make this type of material. There was none of that ever. So I had all that on my back and still was representing both of you guys. And Miho's response was, well, nigga, we made you. This is, you know, that's our name, and you wouldn't be where you at if it wasn't. Yeah, bro. This was his response. He was like, he's like, yeah.
That's a big jump, dude.
Yeah, he made it seem as if like I was leeching off of you guys.
We didn't even do nothing. We didn't even do. Me and Miho didn't even do anything.
That's what I'm saying.
You did more than what the Bullseyes than we did. I made a track or two, but.
Yeah, and then that's where we left it. And then like with that response, it let me know like, yeah, it ain't no, you know, ain't no building with this person.
Dang.
If he has this mindset and tries to like tough guy the situation, like, nah, nigga, you got my name. Like, nah, nigga, if anything, I was helping you keep your name alive. Yeah. Like, if anything, but it's like,
so I want it better. It's nothing though.
Yeah,
we want it. I'm gonna take the leftover.
Yeah,
facts.
But yeah, so like, and then, you know, time went on, and me and Miho been separated, went our ways or whatever. Then we ended up linking up with you, me and Cannon, and I asked you the same thing about it. And your response was, "You're right." Said me and Miho didn't do anything. We didn't like put energy and time and effort into the fam, and you know, building it a certain way or helping you push it or anything like that. So, and you apologize for it, like you said. And that right there was more of an adult response to the situation, not a childish, you know, well, you're a part of this and this and that, and we did this for you. It's like that you took ownership of, you know, what you were lacking in.
Yeah.
And that let me know that the maturity level of, like, it was a space to grow together as a fam, as friends and as brothers and stuff like that, without the drama of things, just because I gave some truth to you. And that's what allowed me to be like, you know what? Yeah, I could still rock with this and like actually just be on this side, like fully. Like, cause we discussed, even you brought it to us and was like, look, y'all don't gotta be eyes, y'all don't gotta be fam, like we don't gotta have no names involved. But if y'all want to dance and be down, then we can do that. And that's where we was at. That we wasn't thinking past that. We was just trying to be down and just, you know, still be good and rock with each other because we didn't fall out like anybody else. Yeah. People had this notion that like everybody fell out with each other. Yeah. And that wasn't the case. Like I didn't have an issue with Tighteyex. And the crazy part is that I've never had an issue. Like I've been so like Krump minded that I've never had a personal problem with it.
Was Krump competition?
It was always Krump competition from the first time that we came in contact until now. It's always been just Krump competition and the Krump mindset. I never took anything personal from the diss tracks, from this or from that. It's Krump.
It's Krump.
It's Krump.
A lot
of people don't have the heart or the mind for that. And so when they see me being able to sit next to him after he made a track about me 10 years ago and, you know, different things like that. It's like, how are you, you know, cool with this nigga? And he used to do this and do that. It's like, because it was Krump competition. Yeah. And that's just what it is. I'm not taking it to the heart. I'm not, you know, it didn't destroy my life. It's none of that. It was just, this nigga that want to battle, and you know, I'm with people that are against him, so I'm gonna go battle his people, and his little homies, and this and that, and there was all that.
That's how it is, though.
Yeah,
like
so
that's what made us. I believe that's why I grew a respect for you, because every time we had to line it up, you was front.
Yeah, facts.
Every time I'm like, this dude.
Even I think one of the first times that I think like respect came into play between us was at EBS in 2012 when I battled Grishka. So like I think the next day, I don't know if I battled Grishka before or it was after, but
that was
we had a workshop. It was my first overseas workshop ever.
I came in there.
This nigga came in there and was like, it was me and Riot. And I taught my class and Riot taught his class. And this nigga comes in right after. He comes in right after both classes and was like, everything that Ruin and Riot just taught you is trash. He was like, niggas like, we gonna teach you some real crap. And then this nigga proceeds to have a crazy workshop. I'm like, and so when that happened though, he taught his class and did everything he did. But after that, I went to him and told him, and I'm this is 2012, so I'm 22. This is my first experience overseas. And we're grown men at the same time. So again, I'm not thinking about, I know how to separate Krump in real life. So I go to him, I'm like, yo, like I get we beefing and it's impact and this and that or whatever's going on, but this is also money and my image when it comes to certain things. And you challenged me in the way of like, well, the information that you're teaching, you could teach it better and this and that. So I wasn't wrong for saying this and that, but we went back and forth about it. But the fact that I stepped to you and told you like, yo, this could take food off of my plate for real and money off of my plate. And, I heard you right there. He understood like, okay, this is more than just about me coming in and just talking my piece about Krump only. It's like, this is taking food off the table for going back, you know, for home from home. And so I think that's where our like respect for each other kind of started to build, because I showed for one that I'm not afraid to approach you, even though, you know, it's Tighteyex, the greatest fucking dancer in the world. Like it's still, I always felt like it's a certain way to do things. And
true. And I had to learn that too, because I was wrong about how I came at you.
And it was just, so, but like we got past that. And then even though we were still beefing until 2014 or something like that, it was still a respect level there. Battles had happened in between that time, all types of stuff.
All types of stuff.
And then like one of the biggest things that like I shared this with different people at different times, but I don't know if you remember, but we were doing something at the Vault at one point in time, and everybody was supposed to get paid, and we didn't. And I needed to get money for medicine for my mom, and that's what I did that for. And they didn't pay us. They only paid certain ones of y'all. Like all the, you know, the big people, the big names, like they paid everybody. And then like at that time frame, you had found out about it, and then you end up giving me money to like help pay for my mom's medicine at that time. And I was like, and we're still in the middle of the beef. We're still in the middle of the beef.
Like, we beefing, but
niggas is still, niggas is still like still at each other and would battle at any moment, and I'll battle your little homies or whatever. But like you stepped out of, you know, Tighteyex and was Terroreyex. It was different, and it was like, okay, that gave me even more respect for the person that you are and stuff like that. And so when I tell people today, and they would wonder why could he sit next to this nigga like after all this and that, it's because I understand the person. And I know how to separate Krump drama and Krump beef and dancing versus the actual person. And I've had different experiences than most of the people that don't like him or have their issues. They, you know, some of you guys or some of these different people, they grew up with him since they were young till now. Nobody has a perfect relationship from age 14 until 40 or whatever. Like there's bumps in the road, but just my experience with this person, it hasn't been what everybody else's has been. So that's my answer. That's why I'm okay with being here. That's why I'm okay with how Krump functions and learning from him and, you know, becoming more of a brother and all these different things. A lot of people just assume that, you know, well, y'all beef, so y'all should never be on the same side. Like, I wouldn't do that. Like, you say that now, but even niggas in prison right now, nigga, you could be a blood on the street right now, be a Crip over here, but when you go to federal prison, you just black.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You black. There's the Mexicans. There's these.
Yeah.
There's the colors don't matter no more.
Yep.
And as we grow older, certain things don't matter. They're not as serious as we try to hold on to them. So when people don't know how to separate Krump and actual life situations, it gets kind of hard for them, and it shows. Because look at people now.
Yeah, that's crazy because we actually, like, if you want to know how beef's supposed to work, I'm Tighteyex, and I did not do everything right. As a leader, I had to learn like how to compete. I'm a battlehead. I'm a competitor too. I like W's. I don't like to lose. You don't like to lose either. So you're gonna have this, and it was like at the EBS, it was like, oh shoot, I'm too bad. This dude actually trying to do something for his life. All right, let me turn the battle off. This is like the bro, so I can help him through these things, and battling helped me too.
Yeah, and even when I was battling Grishka, y'all niggas, you and Enforcer was coaching me on the side, like, hey, nigga, go here.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing some shoe move or something. I'm like, damn, I should have never did that. And the ER's like, no, just go ahead, finish it, keep going. I'm like, all right, just keep going.
But you
like,
know, after that, ER is the one that told me, like, this dude is special. He's the one that told me that. And I was like, you know what, you're right. I had never seen anybody from the opposite side do what you was doing. Like, you were overseas this is no Tighteyex fam, nothing. You were overseas. I'm like, this nigga's at the EBS. Hold up.
Yeah, that story is a situation, man. That was like, so just to be quick about it, like, my first trip ever was to Texas. First place I ever been. Shout out to Texas and Al and all y'all, man. Rest in peace, Disco. So, like, my first place I ever went to for Krump that, like, accepted me outside of California was Texas. They hit me up to go to the Resurrection. The first one was me and Outrage, and somebody else went. It was a thing, and I had no knowledge of, like, all right, I'm about to challenge for Krump. I need to do this, and that, and nobody ever gave me any type of, you know, knowledge on what to do or how to carry myself. I was a part of Impact at this time, so I'm going to Rich. I'm like, hey, Rich, I need some help. Like, I'm about to go to Texas in a couple months. Could you give me some info on what should I do? I'm not asking for anything else. I'm just asking for, like, some help on what I should do as I get out there to make sure I, you know, make my money, don't get taken advantage of, and this and that. He's like, all right, I got you. 2 weeks go by, nothing. I ask him again. He said, yeah, I got you. Another month go by, and then a whole another time go by, and I'm a week away from the trip.
Dang.
Still ain't getting no type of information, no nothing. And I'm like, all right, man. Like, he's, you know, I'm a part of a group where there's Crush, Solo, Notepad, and these people are just now they've broken away from being under you at this time frame. So he's focused on them and building them up and this and that. And I end up going to Texas, right? Thank God everything went perfect. It was fine. Went out there, enjoyed the event, got paid, did everything, came back. But before I get back, right, like the day before I get back, I see a promo video. There's a promo video of Notepad and Miho, and they were supposed to go to Canada to there used to be a thing called North Buck. Yeah. North Buck they had some event or something like that they were bringing Miho and Notepad to. These niggas had promo videos. He made t-shirts for them to take out there and sell, all type of stuff. And I'm like, damn, nigga, I'm just asking for some help on trying to go to Texas. But you got time to, you know, give Miho and Notepad, and these niggas make promo videos for them and flyers and all type of stuff. And I got none of that. And so that's what created the monster inside of me. Bro, I promise you that I told myself after that, when I seen that, I told myself, like, bro, I'll never ask nobody for nothing. And after that, I communicate anywhere anybody's ever seen me, bro. Anywhere. I don't care what country, what state, not one nigga. I never had a manager. Man, Rich never booked any trip I went on when I was Impact. Had nothing to do with Rich or nobody else doing nothing for me. Everything was me. I'm the one who talked to every person, like, yo, all right, I need this much, this, and that. Even though I wasn't fully knowledgeable of, like, Krump value and all that stuff, like, I should be getting paid this much and that, I still was proud that I negotiated everything and got through it without their help. Because nobody was offering it to me when I asked. I was like, bro, I need help to make sure I'm doing this. So when I went from, from Japan and to Russia and all over Europe and Ireland, like, bro, I'm in all these places. I've been so many places, bro, over all these years, but not one time have I had a person manage anything for me or have to reach out to people to do it. I did it all on my own. And that was created from Rich not helping me and putting his time and energy into people he thought that had more of a name.
Promising,
so I'm like, yeah, it's like, all right. And so that always, even though I was a part of Impact, I still had my small separation. So that's why I never fell into the church with them and never fell into going to the Bible studies and stuff with them and doing things. Me and
kind of on the outskirts.
I was on the outskirts in the group. Yeah, I was in the group, but I was still kind of like, I'm not finna go kick it with y'all. But when it's time to dance, let me know.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. I think me and you are very similar because that's how I felt with the whole Rize thing. Every group that I was a part of, people thought it was like Tighteyex master plan. But my master plan is to look out for my little homies who were nobodies at the time, trying to make sure, and I had no knowledge of business, nothing. I just have talent and I know how to make this Krump thing happen. That's it. But I was on the outskirts because people wouldn't let me in the business meetings. People wouldn't let me in the deals. People wasn't telling me how much they was taking from me. People wasn't telling me the percentages. Like, I went through it too. And that's what created the monster in me. Like, people think I'm mean now. I'm like, no, I just don't want to be a part of this because y'all will rip me off if I let you.
Yeah, facts.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
like,
that's why we battle do how we are with battles.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm not,
we're not
I'm not, you won't catch me at nobody's event unless they, paying for real. And it's like, that's just what it is. Like, we've all been through the favors phase where it's like, doing favors for the homies to get the event popping and this and that, or battling because they needed a good name there or whatever. And people know, like, your value gets shown over the years. Yeah. Like, people know if you put this person's name on the flyer, people were coming. So that's money that you're going to make that you could, divvy up to give them something. But people just use you. Yes. So we're out of that phase, and we got real life situations going on. We're no longer in the phase of just, I'm 21, 22, and I'm just trying to get some money to go buy some new shoes. It's like, nah, I gotta get some money to go pay these bills and
we're trying to get
all this other stuff.
Houses, we trying to get businesses.
So the value's different now. So it's like, but that comes with time and comes with the effort and energy that you put in the Krump.
That's crazy because that's what makes you. I believe you're a leader in Krump.
I hate that name though. I tell people all the time that, man, I hate being a leader in this movement because people pick and choose when they want to listen. Yeah. And it's like, I don't go out there just shooting bullshit to people. Like, I'm not finna go out there and just say dumb stuff. Or if I know a nigga lost, I'm not finna go out there and boast like, oh yeah, this nigga won, and try to explain it to them. Nah, I'm not. If he lost, he lost. I keep it as 100 as possible. But because of who I'm associated with, people will dismiss it. They'll dismiss it as much as they can and try to make it seem like it's something else. It's like, bro, just take it for what it is. I'm telling the truth. But you just like people, so it's like people pick and choose. But then when it goes in their favor, then everybody's like, yeah, you're right, this and that. It's like, bro, that's fake. Yeah. That's hella fake. It's like, even with like small victories of my own. Like, I did a Battle Fest. I did that. I won the Battle Fest. It's a flexing event. But I went in there and beat every flexer possible. And I battled some of the dope niggas too. I battled
They be coming after you.
Bro, and they're tight.
Yeah,
they come after you. I had a battle with Strobe. Strobe is hard. That's the homie right there.
I remember I battled Crow. Crow's crazy.
Crow's ridiculous. They wanted me to battle him at an event, but they weren't trying to pay like that. So I was like, I'm not doing it if y'all niggas ain't paying for real. But I haven't battled Strobe. Like, Strobe is one of the coldest dancers ever, bro. That nigga's so tight. And so, like, I ended up getting past that, and everybody was like, oh, Krump won. Krump this, Krump that.
Ruined one. Like, at the flexing event.
I put the effort in, but they don't want to give me the
That's
props.
Cold, man.
That's how crazy
That's what made you battle people.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, it triggers you to, like, kind of, like, just look at niggas different. Like, dang, bro, you can't even respect the fact that I did it, because like, you could have put anybody else in there. Concrete went and did it. Yeah, he didn't. He died. Yeah. Other people did it. They failed. Certain things with World of Dance, like me and Outrage had the first Krump event at world of dance ever. And it's only been that, and it's never been another one. Like certain things, like doors have been open in certain ways that I've been a part of and stuff like that, and people just try to brush it off. It's like if somebody else did that same thing today, they gonna be, yo, this is crazy. It's like, bro, we did this a long time ago. But you know,
but that's why I say you're a leader, because you get the task of the suffering, and you don't see yourself as a leader. And it just so happens that God chooses
you
the
can't
people.
help it.
Yeah, it's like,
You can't
that's
help
what I'm feeling right now. Like, God, you could have spared me all of this, but He chooses the people that are obscured. Like He chooses the people that are lowly, that look like they don't deserve it, and He exalts them. And I've seen it happen with you. I seen it happen with you, like I seen it happen with B Dash, like I seen it happen with Concrete and Beast. But you've been more faithful with your position. It seemed like you learned from
just my encounters with things.
You seem you watched the game and you were paying attention to the rise and falls, and like, okay, I'm not going to make this mistake.
Yeah, like, and one of the crazier things is like is Crush. Like. I'm not in, good terms with him now or nothing like that. I don't hate the nigga or nothing like that, but I'm just not locked in like we used to be.
Yeah.
And but I always like 100% still give him his props on things, and I tell people what I've learned from him or how I've learned. Crush was never a crazy teacher of mine. He never we never, even though we were to Impact together and I was J-Flesh for years, we never really labbed like that. Just as many times as I labbed with Crush, it was about the same times I labbed with Mio. And me and Crush was around each other a lot more. We worked together, same place. We just danced together a lot because of us being in the same group and living at the same spot, or the sessions on Tuesdays, the Impact sessions. But as far as training, I didn't get a lot of training from Crush, but I did pay a lot of attention to his level of musicality and how he moves and stuff like that. And that's one of the main things that I got from him. But outside of that, his journey, how you were speaking on viewing people and learning what not to do. I watched Crush's journey from before I was a part of this fan, and I seen how he was up. I remember I'm the greatest Krump dancer alive. I remember that video where and it showed all his different clips of different crazy battles and really dope stuff. And he's shown so many different levels in Krump over the years. So that title of Prince of Krump and those different things, it made sense to me and all that. And but I've also seen the sides where he was going too hard and it backfired, or things failed a lot because of just his choices and stuff like that, as far as Krump. And watching him go through that put me in a space where I'm like, okay, I know what not to do. And so watching Crush's journey and how it went up and down in certain ways, and the good parts of it, the bad parts of it, I'm in the background right behind that. Like, okay, let me make sure I'm not doing too much, and I'm staying in a space where I don't go through what he went through. So I've learned from Crush in that way, based off of his journey and what he's been through. I've learned not to go about it in the way he'd go about it, or how to react to certain things the way he reacted. And stuff like that. And that's another thing that helped shape the journey that people see of mine. Because I avoided a lot of craziness because I seen Crush go through it. So I'm like, oh no, Crush went through that. So let me go this way and then figure out another way around it. So I don't end up in this same position or, things like that. So watching people's journey and seeing the ups and downs and stuff like that, and having the encounters that I've had from you all the way back down to Prissy, it's like I've learned so much and seen so much. At different points in my whole career, I've went through the phases of talking to Prissy, talking to Tighteyex, talking to Little C, and these are the people that everybody that's feuding with each other. That was a crazier thing to me. I'll hear from you, I'll talk to you, and I'll talk to Miho, and I'll talk to Prissy, I'll talk to this person. It's all different times, but it's I've had the privilege of being kind of in the center of understanding what Krump is from their points of view, and then understand, and it's easier for me to identify where it came from. It's easier for me to identify, all these different things because I know y'all. I know y'all now. So and it's not been like, oh, I just met Prissy, or just met. It's been since 2012. I've been around for some time and had conversations, real live ones. A lot of niggas probably never seen Prissy in person, but they'll go through everything she say online. They're here for it. Yeah. But it's like, how much of that do you know is true? Yeah. How much do you know what Miho said is true? Yeah. Some people never met Miho before. Yeah. He moved around. He's in his different spaces, going to different events and all these things over the years. But as far as time spent and understanding their details and how this person actually operates versus kicking it with them for a weekend at an event, it's different. It's way different. It's different. So way different. I know a lot of what Krump has to offer and where certain things come from and stuff like that. And even like if we dig back, bro, even further back, I've even had conversations with Baby C, and that's somebody who I've never even like danced around or anything like that. He hit me up through Facebook and wanted to talk to me because I was one of his favorite Krumpers at this time. And he hits me up and we talking this and that. I get to listen to him and his conversations and stuff like that. So it's like people that have been around, people that niggas will never see. Like I've connected with these different pieces of Krump history. Yeah. And so again, that's why it's easy for me to point out and understand like where it came from and who it came from versus...
You can tell. Like, I've been in the songs, dude. I know it. I see it.
And there's dope people. And it's not to say just because you're tight and you look good doing the dance that, you know, you're the creator. You're right. It's like that doesn't solidify it. It's the delivery of how you explain these things. It's, can you teach this to somebody and it show up on them? Because that's the real test. Like, can you teach somebody what you have learned or what you created and it show up on them?
You talking.
That's just the truth.
That's a crazy, people don't like the truth.
Yeah.
The truth is very distasteful sometimes, but this is what I be saying. If you created it, you should be able to give it. You can't give something that you don't have. Gosh. So that's when I challenge all of these people. If you created Krump, why is it sticking with you? Why are you the only one tight? Why isn't your fam coming out? Why can't you go overseas? Why can't you give it to this country? Why can't you give it to these people? It should be on demand. You should be able to give it if you really had that. So that's some truth that people don't want to hear that truth.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Let's go. Let's get to the now because you are in the eyes, fam. And I don't see you. I just want to get this. I don't see you as a little homie. Like, you're not under me. I'm just giving you the tools so you can be your best version of whatever you want to be. And people take these things outside of Krump, like the T-flies. Like, you can use Krump in everything that you do because it's a principle to it. Yeah. So I don't you're my bro, and I told you my fam, it has to be a brotherhood. Yeah. And you were like, this is the main part for me. So we're not even on the dance, but we do gish buck. But we're not fam because of the dance.
Yeah, it's a difference. It's a different situation. It's just a different situation being fan because of the dance versus being a fan because you're actually building something that's going to last beyond the physical level of Krump, right? Because like one day, I'm not going to be able to dance. I'm not going to be able to chest pop and get off like I can today. Hopefully I can, but like, you know, humanity says that, you know, one day, you're going to slow down and, you know, your knees going to get hurt and you're going to be different. But if there's something beyond that was, you know, built inside of there, that's an actual brotherhood and fam and stuff like that, it's for everything. Yeah. So that's what the goal is this time around. A lot of people, you know, had their time to be fam and be this and that, but the goal was different. The brotherhood of this and coming together to create something that's going to last outside of all the drama that we see every day and all that, and being able to go on vacations and do crazy stuff like that, and enjoy ourselves with our girls and wives and everything. That's the stuff that matters. That's the stuff that matters that we're building towards. We're getting buck on the way, but we're building something different. And that's just what it is, man.
Now, I don't want y'all to think that we're bros with each other, but to the opposite, let me know. Would you ever go at it with Spartan again? Like one-on-one battle? Because y'all have like a saga.
Me and Spartan have battled like 3 times over the span of just knowing each other. First time was crazy, bro. First time was wild. I'm at my garage in the IE at my mom's house. And I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you do remember, it's Marcus, Lil NY.
Yeah.
So Marcus, before he was any of that, he was living in Portland, Oregon.
Portland, yep.
This nigga drove down from Portland, Oregon, bro, to my garage just to lab and meet me. Like, to lab and meet me this day, the day that I battled Spartan, right? He came in like a white Challenger or something with one of his friends.
Wow.
And this other white dude or whatever. And they just came, and we randomly just in my garage labbing and all that. And then, for some reason, I was on Facebook, and me and Spartan get into it on Facebook. And I told the niggas, I'll battle you tonight. And then nigga Mark's just like, hey, I'll take you down there. They having a session tonight. I was like, all right, let's go then. We hop in the car, go straight to the session. And that's when me and Spartan, that battle, that first
started.
Battle. That was the first one from there. And then the second time that we battled was at the Impact spot, I believe. That one was kind of, I don't even know why we did it that time. I think it was after the Ski Mask Way situation or something like that. Y'all had that album. It was different stuff going on or something like that. And so we ended up battling there. And that was a crazy situation. That was when I chased this nigga. That's when I chased this nigga around this session.
You don't remember this stuff.
Bro, it's funny stuff. It's a lot of bloopers and what do you call it, mams and all that.
We all had them there.
Yeah, so like things like that happened in that battle. And so that was the second time. And the third time I battled him was the third time I battled him. I didn't put the footage out. I battled him at the Overhype session that's in Carson, and I worked. Was it Carson or Torrance? Carson. It was the small spot, the Overhype spot.
I think it was Carson.
Okay, it's Carson. So that spot, right? I battled him there, and then you told me you was like, you was like, if you beat this nigga, I'm gonna battle you right after. I battled this nigga.
I wasn't sure, man.
I battled this nigga, and then next thing you know, this is the first time me and you're battling.
Yeah. And
it's not, there's no footage was ever put out of it. But all I remember is battling you. I can't even remember the rounds because I'm tired from battling Spartan. And then I'm battling this nigga next. And then I don't even remember how many rounds we went or not. And then all I remember is Project being in my ear, like, just keep going. Just keep doing, you good, you doing good. That's all I remember is Project telling me this the whole time.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, so that happened. Those are only 3 times I remember battling Spartan. Other than that, that was it. But as far as going at it again with them, it's not on my list. It's not on my list because like me and him, this past, what was the event? Desert Storm. I had a conversation with him because like I had it in my heart I had it in my heart to fight this nigga like with everything in me. But with the passing of Disco, that kind of shifted me a little bit, and I didn't want to be the person that's bringing drama to this event, especially when 95% of it was dedicated to the memory of somebody that that I loved and was one of the first people to support me. On my Krump journey, because like I said, Texas was the first place I ever went, and so Disco, Al, and Antics, and these people, like these are people that like trusted Ruin first. Before anybody else did, they trusted in Ruin or believed in me. So I didn't want to go there and be that person like, all right, I'm finna beat this nigga up and start some craziness or whatever. And I ended up having a conversation with him for like, we talked for about an hour, standing outside the event. And we just came to a common ground of like, nigga, you do you, I'm gonna do me. I'm not gonna, speak on you negatively and do this and do that. If it comes to Krump and we battling and this and that, or niggas is going at it, understand, what comes with that. We both know that because we've been on opposite ends before, but that don't mean I'm finna start trashing you on the internet and talking this, different stuff like that. I even apologized about the situation with the recording him when we had our situation or whatever, as far as communicating and stuff. I told him about that. I was like, I could have not did that, but I'd have told him straight up, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I don't trust that you gonna, stand on what you said and stuff like that. So that's why I did that for my protection in a sense. And and that's but we had our situation, and it is what it is. So it's a dead situation. But again, if Krump happens, like I said, I'm always for Krump. So if we ended up battling for some reason. It's not out of like, oh, I don't like this nigga because he over there or this and that. It's just we just ended up battling because that's just what's left. But that's all that is.
What about Miho?
Miho?
You already
honestly, yeah, I battled this nigga already. I feel like I got off on this nigga. But after finding out from the homie that this nigga pretty much took all his material and moves and all
and
his
you talking about Chosen, right?
Chosen. He took all
Chosen
the stuff.
bro.
The day one though. He took the day one homies material moves and all this other stuff and used it against me in the battle. And I'm like, how you take the homie stuff, but you are this creator, you're this like you're big Miho, and you tried to like big dog me in the battle, calling me a little nigga, all this and that, but you taking moves and material from my day one homie to battle against me. It's like I would love to see you at your best, not at off the homies juice. So if I ever got the chance to really battle Miho again, that would definitely be a thing. That's not off the table at all. Yeah, I don't see no reason to not. And like, I know how good I can be when it's time for real. And so just believe, nigga, if we ever run into each other again and we battling, I'm going to be stupid. Like, I'm going to be really crazy. And that's just what it is. Because like, whenever I have a real target and it's just on my heart to get you, I do it. And that's just how I am. And it's been that way. So, and I'm doing nothing but getting better. I'm actually getting legit knowledge on how to put myself together. I don't dance like Tighteyex, as you guys can see, but I have different things that, the similarities, but I've always had similarities. That's why I was a bullseye. That's why I have similarities to Mia. That's just the truth. It's not something I can fight. It's just based off how I'm built and how I learn and how I decided to present my Krump. So, yeah, y'all can't blame it on him when I beat nobody. Y'all can't blame it on him.
See what he
It
did
just
to
is
Rex.
what it is. So, yeah.
Look, after you see what he did to Rex, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Talk after that when you see what happens to Rex. And I'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
But now we are in a new Krump season. Secretary of Defense, because y'all play political
Krump
games.
Defense. Yeah. So just believe, I'm gonna be there when it's time to be there. You already know how I am, man. If I say I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you. And it's not the Secretary of Defense, like Krump Defense, is not just about, defending everybody and this and that. It's about like actually putting some real like messages out there for the people to understand how to defend themselves in Krump. Like I've been through it. I still get it now. Even I have to defend myself now because I'm cool with Tighteyex only. Even when I was cool with Tighteyex and Miho, I still had to defend myself. And it's like, so no matter what, you still have to be able to articulate and, know how to spend time with how to deliver messages to the people and get them to understand that there's a separation with Krump in real life situations. There's a line between those things. There's, how to defend yourself when it comes to being booked for events and the owner of the event don't want to pay you right. How do you speak up for that? That's the Krump defense. I'm gonna put out stuff like that. So it's not just gonna be, trash talking and talking crazy to y'all, even though I will sometimes if needed. But it's gonna have its messages for y'all to understand how to build yourself. Cause like I've built myself. I might not be your favorite. I might not ever be. You might not like my style. Probably never did. That's fine. But my journey speaks for itself. Where I started, if I say I'm gonna do something, I do it. Regardless win, lose, draw, like I'm always 10 toes down for what I'm talking about. And that's just what it is. And nobody can tell me any different from Tighteyex down to anybody. Like, and I've been in the center of these people that y'all pick sides with and debate about and argue about. I've heard every voice. So it's like, yeah, I can't tell me nothing.
I like that. And that's something I can say about you. You have always been 10 toes down wherever you are at. You have never been like a shifter, a switcher. Like you have not switched on nothing. Even when you was battling us, I'm like, man, this Negro do not quit. We gotta laugh because he just doesn't quit.
I was hungry, man. I was definitely hungry. Like when it came to Krump, like especially back in those times, because like I was battling and doing a lot with the homies, and then we took a loss with my homie Pedro, who passed away, and he passed away in a car crash, and that kind of slowed our group down because like losing a member of the group, and we was so tight knit. We all from Rialto, we hang around each other daily, we dancing all the time. But once that loss happened, it kind of we all kind of started trickling away from each other and not dancing together so often and stuff. But I was still hungry to dance, so. We did pop out different places, and then we were just going crazy with the group and all that stuff. And after a while, I kind of started seeing the homies kind of not dancing that much anymore. We remember Bully, who was like Lil Cannon, Kid Cannon, which was Boogie. We had Soldier Cannon. Like a lot of my the homies that were Wu-Tang were under Cannon. They were in Cannon. It's crazy because Cannon was damn near younger than everybody or something, or maybe the same age, but we never seen him. But he had half the group under him. I'm like, dang, this nigga. Yeah. So it was like those time frames were just full of energy, but then it started to shift downward. But I was still hungry to dance and wanted to do more. And I think one of those moments that like kind of made me really get triggered was when I met Crush Solo and Rapture and Rampage. I met all of them the same day. All on the same day. We're at a D Kings event in San Bernardino, and it's again another sad day in Krump. It was July 18th, the same day that Cornbread got shot. And literally, bro, we're at the event. I battled a Hitman and Crush in a tag team. That was me and Amityville, the homie Bad Trip. I remember. So we that's who I was. Twin Shells. When I was Twin Shells, that's the name that he was Shells. And so we battling, and we ended up winning against crushing Hitman. And they're Krump Kings at this time. We're still Krump Kings and all that at this time. And we won $300.
I didn't hear about this. Y'all didn't tell me y'all took an L.
That was a long time ago.
Hiding the L's, okay.
Yeah, this is at a D Kings event, but yeah, like that happened. And this was the first time I ever received money for Krump. At this point, it's 2008. I've been dancing since 2003. And so 5 years in is the first time I ever got some money for Krump. I'm like,
this feels good.
I can make money for this? And then look, my mom was happy for me. So I was like, because all it was before that was just, can I have some gas money for the homies so we can go here and go to the session and this and that. So I was always receiving and taking money, but I never brought any money in with Krump. So that $300 was a life changer. Dang. So once I got that, and I split that with the homies, so I only had $150.
Hey, I know about it. $1,000 here. Hey. 7 people living here.
But yeah, so that happened, and then that kind of motivated me to like try to learn how to get more money with Krump. Like, yo, if I can battle and get money and this and that, so it motivated me to get better because now I done battle Crush and Hitman, which are Krump Kings, and I won. So it's like, who else can I battle?
It's like, what?
So I developed this early. I developed this situation where I wasn't scared of nobody. Like, I was crushed. Like, this nigga I've been watching on YouTube for a while. This is Hitman, who's Junior Tighteyex, or who was, and I just seen this nigga do this and that. So I'm like, how do I win? I'm thinking that way, like, how do I win? So, but I developed that I ain't got no fear. Yeah. So when it came to you, I wasn't scared. I was never scared. Never. Like, a lot of people would like, oh, nigga, that's Tighteyex. Like, I remember making videos in my house. It was like, so? Bro, I remember making videos when we got into it with the detectives and bad guys.
Bro, I used to come to the overhype like, I'm looking for you, nigga. I'm like, yo, this nigga's crazy. He's crazy, but it's buck though. But he crazy though. He used to come to this is our turf. He don't care. And talk to me like, I'm coming for you, nigga. It's like that. Hey, he don't care. He was in there, but it was fun though. It made us like, okay,
you gotta respect it. Like, that was just what it was, and it's crazy for me because like when I think about how I am now and back then, it's like, damn, I was getting rocked every time I was battling these niggas because I wasn't as sound in certain things. Like again, I had the big moves and all the other stuff like that, so I could exist in that world at a certain level, but like pound for pound, I wasn't dropping like I could.
But you learned. You was getting better each time, man. We used to talk about it, bro. We used to talk about it like, hey, if you don't laugh, we're gonna get you. Because it was getting too. You were getting better. We couldn't deny it.
Yeah, Yeah, those are some times, man.
So, one last thing. You were ER's second to last battle. Y'all battled at the EXP.
At the EXP.
And this is something that a lot of people think I'm biased. And when it came down to my brother was very detailed about, did I lose? And it was so hard to tell him because he was so emotional about it. Yeah. And I had to explain to him why he lost. And you were one of the first battles where he went, you know what, you're right. And he accepted it. Even though he hated it.
I hated to tell him. A crazy relationship, bro. Like over the years, he used to try to get me. Like when I first the EBS.
Yeah,
the EBS.
It was a thing. And you beat him there.
And I was like, all right, I got him. Like we battled 3 times, bro. The first time was at the EBS. The second time, no. Wait, it's EBS. When was the last Call of Buck that he was at?
I don't remember.
I can't remember if that was the first time or not.
I think the second time was at the EBS.
Okay, the second time was EBS.
Yeah.
The first time was at the Call of Buck, right? Battled him there, and then I battled him at EBS, and then the EXP. And these is all like at least 4 years apart each time.
You was on at the EBS. You was on.
Yeah, I remember that. I was tight, bro. And I don't know where it came from, though.
It's because I don't know you was fed up, dude. You was fed up with me. You was fed up with I'm tired of y'all niggas, man.
Yeah, and it was the last day too.
Yeah,
it was after the battle with Grishka.
Yeah.
So I knew I gotta be tight. I gotta do something. But I was like, I stepped into a different space in that moment because I've never danced like that again. In that time frame, like that battle, I never danced the way I danced there at EBS that day versus ER. I didn't like. Even that next Monday when I went, or Tuesday when I went to the session, I wasn't dancing that way. Like it was just something snapped in that moment. But yeah, I've always had that type of relationship with Enforcer, and it was always tough though. It was never like sometimes I felt like, all right, this nigga just don't like me type shit. Like it just is what it is. But I understood, like, I'm going against his brother over here, so that's just the energy the nigga gonna give off. And then any little thing I did wrong, like, oh, this nigga tired, he tired. I remember that when I was smart. Oh, this nigga drinking water. Like, bro,
we so petty, bro.
This nigga need water.
We was petty.
So it was like that. But the last time that I got to like be around him, we were in Vegas for your birthday, I believe. It was before your birthday. And we were in the garage labbing and talking and stuff like that. And then me and him just kind of gradually made our way to each other and started talking. And that's when out of all the time I've known him, it's the first time we ever had a normal conversation of like just kind of heart-to-heart situation. He was like, man, you know, you a good dude, man. He was like, you actually like, you've been getting tight over these years, this and that. And he was like, I believe in you, just telling me, you know, different things. And it was awkward to hear, but it was like, I understood. Like, I guess it's just time now. Like, because we're not beefing no more. There ain't no me against this person or none of that. There's nothing there to make us have to be at odds. And so we finally on a place where it's like, we can just talk. And that was like the last message that I got from him was just like, you know, keep going. Like you doing your thing.
He spoke very highly of you. Yeah. In private. You know, when it was in the battle, it's like,
it's like, nah.
But when we got home, it was like, this is something that he told me after the battle at EBS. He was like, you know what? Ruin is better than we thought. He told this to me. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. He was like, yeah, I slept on him. He admitted that he slept on you in that battle. He was like, I paid the price. Like, don't sleep on Ron. He's a special one. So this is in private. Now, I'm never saying it to this because we still like this. But all the time, even after the battle at the EXP, he was like, Ches, Ron, he's won. This is after. Yeah. So he always spoke highly of you just in a private setting. Yeah, and it's understandable. Yeah. Like, I definitely get it. So it was hard for me to tell him that he lost. And I know he was coming back. He was like, I don't even take Krump serious like that. I'm just coming back to try to do this. And then he gets to the last thing and you beat him. Yeah. And so like, dang. Ruin stopped him again. He was like, man, this nigga always beat me, man. It's like, he was just like, I gave it my best, man. That's all I could do. But Roy, he just too fast. He too strong. He's like, he's too fast. He too strong, man. Yeah. But he was getting off. But I'm like, It is.
He
what
was
it
feeling
is.
it that night for sure.
Especially
he had
with the
so many
pre-selection.
dope clips, bro. And that from that event, like he had so many dope clips from that event.
So my brother,
that was the last event that he did.
Yeah,
right?
that was the last event. So my brother, he kind of pointed me and told me to watch out for you from afar.
Yeah,
like this dude is Krump. Like he was saying he was Krumper than all the other people, like the people that were in his era.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, this dude is Krump, and he's a candidate to carry Krump. So from that point, I started to look like, and this is what made me go yes to the Bullseyes in the first place. It was because of ER. It wasn't because of Jardis, because Jardis always had ideas, like never went nowhere.
That was one of the fallouts we had in the family.
So
he had an idea, and then it didn't get nowhere. He got mad.
At least we could do is try what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it was because of ER, and I believe it's a huge part to play in where we are today, because I lost a brother and I gained a brother. You remind me a lot of ER because of ER. Like ER was like just
straight to
a
it.
haymaker, ruthless, and I like that because that's what makes Krump fun for me. Yeah. Like if it's no fierce competition, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's boring.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
What are we wasting our time here for? But if there is any message before we get up out of here, because we gotta go to the session, we gotta get up.
Gotta get off. What
would be your message today for Krumpers that have been in this for a long time, new Krumpers, or people that don't Krump at all? What would Ruin say to them?
Yeah, it'd be a couple different messages, because for the people who are in Krump today, that are either coming into Krump or just still trying to like find yourself in it, make sure you do exactly that. Find yourself in it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people come into the movement and they get tied up in the name game or the group game or these different things that just look so like, but it's like, at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. Like once you split from the homies and you go home, y'all all don't live together. Like you have yourself and your Krump, the Krump that you practice on in that room, that kitchen, that garage by yourself, those places. Like work on that and build yourself and your name to a point where people seek you, not you seeking others. That'll be all the difference in how you exit Krump. Like I could leave Krump today, right now, and be 100% content with everything that I've done because I've done it my way. I was never influenced by someone so much to where I lost track of the vision that I have for myself inside the movement and the things that I wanted to do. So for those people that are in it, like continue to find yourself. And I'm not saying separate yourself from everybody and just go be in a hole somewhere and pop out every now and then. I'm just saying have the mental control to be able to stand on your own 2 feet, and then whatever you say you're going to do it, regardless of fear, regardless of you think you're going to win, you're going to lose, you're going to draw, whether you think you're going to, never get paid enough, or you never going to get to this point in the dance, or never get booked. Like, don't wait on everybody. Don't wait for people to book you either. Sometimes you got to step on the gas on your own and get somewhere, because that might be what needed to happen to get to the bookings or something like that. Because all it takes is one person seeing you somewhere that they don't normally see you, and then they gonna ask like, "Hey, how can I get you out here?" And then that's the next step. So that's for the people that are in the movement that want to grow and become something, and leave the movement and be okay afterwards.
All right, man.
Yeah.
That's bro. We got more to talk to you about. You'll be hearing more from the bro in future episodes. But for now, that is good enough. He gave you a lot of history, a lot of good Krump life lessons. So I'll see you next time on Krump Inc. Y'all stay buzzed. Let's make Krump praise again. And we about to go get bumped right now.
Who created Krump? So many things to tell you. How much time you got?